So the AMA has reversed their position on hydroxychloroquine, or however you pronounce it. You know what I'm talking about. You know this drug that was going to kill you just a few months ago if you took it for COVID-19, even though it's been around for like 50 plus years and it's treated for a number of different cases. This affected me personally because our idiot governor was one of these many Democratic governors throughout the country that banned prescriptions for this. And my wife was given a prescription for it, went to go get it filled, and they wouldn't fill it. Luckily, we have TRICARE, and we were able to get it through the federal system. And then he gets exposed to the COVID, and he starts taking it. And he wasn't the only one. There was quite a few others. It's amazing how deep the swamp is. It's amazing how, in the business world, we call it being GE'd. What they do is they get into an organization or a company or a group or whatever it may be, and then they start weeding out everybody that questions them, has different opinions, and start bringing in their friends, start grooming these young kids up, and pretty soon they just think like the Borg. They're all one way of thinking. And they typically leave the company prostrate with its heart ripped out, like they did to a company that we worked for that is now defunct. And, we were green energy before green energy was cool. They did this very quietly, by the way. This is after, when I knew this was bunk? I knew this was bunk when I seen the three-pronged attack. The attack by the Democratic politicians, the media, and then big tech censoring anybody that came out against it or had a different opinion. That's a pattern that always tells you what exactly is going on with this issue, product, whatever it may be. They needed this because they needed to create this pandemic. And at first, I thought as soon as the election was over, it was going to go away. But then in September, I started looking around and I'm thinking, these people are drunk on their power. I mean, they are drunk on their power. And I don't think it's going to go away after election. Now, Bill Gates was on there on one of these idiot TV shows. And he said, we got to close every bar and restaurant down for 4 to 6 months. We have already destroyed 40% of small businesses in many of these states. And then you want to close down bars and restaurants? Tell me, why is it more dangerous to go to a bar and have a drink than it is to go to a grocery store? Why is it more problem going to a restaurant where you're sitting at a table that's usually fairly evenly spaced, but you can go to a grocery store? You pass people in these aisles, you can't socially distance in these aisles. But if they close grocery stores down now, that would create a revolt they can't handle. You know, I've said all along, you're more likely to get this at a grocery store or Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever than you are anywhere else. How many people, and by the way, doctors, great job on your oath, you scumbags. How many people have they killed? We would have never had this pandemic in the first place if these 5 governors wouldn't have put sick people back in nursing homes. And I tell you, I thought about this, and now I'm sure it was on purpose. Because even if you're scared of your hospitals being overran, you were nowhere near at that point, right, at that time, okay? But why would you put them in an environment like that? You could at least separate them. I just, you know, quarantine them. They just don't care. They're getting what they want. The goal of the left has always been to destroy the middle class. Always. Because that is the one class of people they can't control. They can control the lower classes. The upper classes they don't need to control because they don't want their power affected, so they're going to join in with them. It's the middle class. That's why Obama had the war on the middle class for 8 years. He tried to do as much damage as he could to the middle class. Now, in a short 9-10 months, 40% of all small businesses, which is the core of the middle class in this country, are closed forever in some of these states. 40% through no fault of their own. It's a dang shame what's happening out there. All right, y'all have a good day. Bye.